Hello everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. Thank you all for joining me today. So in today's reading, we're going to take a look at your spiritual growth path and what breakthroughs can you expect to experience in the coming new cycle. So we have 3 pile choices to choose from. For pile number 1, we have this card with Septarian as the crystal. For pile number 2, we have this card with Kunzite. For pile number 3, we have this card with a sage on there, and Carnelian. So these are your 3 pile choices for today. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps are going to be listed in the description box below. And I'll see you all at your readings. Welcome to your reading pile number 1. So these are your messages about your spiritual growth path and what breakthroughs are in store for you. So before I get into this card here, I'm going to go ahead and pull your oracle cards real quick to get some more information. Whoa. Okay, immediate messages. Pile number 1, can we have some insight on their spiritual growth path? Any breakthroughs that they may experience? Okay, so we have this one here. And that card. Pile number 1. Let's go with, yes, I love these little cards. Okay, those 3. And let's try these. Ooh, let me get you some tarot just a moment. Pile number 1, please. Can we have some information about their spiritual growth path? Ooh. Alright, and then we'll get maybe 1 or 2 of these. That should be good. Pile, oh, perfect. Alright, you guys, let's see what Spirit wants you to know. So, with this first card here, what I see is that there's going to be a heart expansion or some healing that comes in for you. I feel like there's going to be a root chakra upgrade, solar plexus, perhaps even the sacral chakra. So your lower chakras are going to receive some healing. And our lower chakras relate to the physical realm. But I feel like this is you opening your heart and expanding to receive more wisdom from your higher self, more insight, more peace, more understanding, more clarity, more truth. Yeah, you're going to be receiving, this is like a download coming in. And whenever we receive downloads, sometimes it can create disruptions in our life because it's like an awakening. You know, we start seeing things that we never saw before. We start seeing things like truths begin to be revealed, and sometimes our pain, our emotions, traumas of the past, unhealed wounds, they start to come to the surface. They start to rise in our awareness for us to bring healing, to reflect on, to transmute, and to create more shift in our lives. And when the downloads come in, they're like data packages. It's light, it's awareness, it's perspective, it's healing, and sometimes it can be very exhausting. So definitely make sure that you take some time to rest, to hydrate yourself, to nurture yourself, care for yourself, because sometimes it can be, it's hard sometimes when our old wounds come up for review again. And it's just, it doesn't mean that you're going backwards or, that you haven't done any work. It's just deeper insight, more wisdom, more chances to heal, more chances to feel into the emotion that needs to be released, okay? So, and with Septarian's like it's a grounding stone. It's a very spiritual crystal. It helps us to transform. It boosts our confidence. It boosts our communication skills, our communication with our higher self. It's very good for, protection, helping you to release old patterns. So it's a great crystal to work with while you're going through this shift. And we have card number 1 with Song of Creation. And number 1 is a new cycle, a new beginning. It's the first step, and to be confident in yourself and to embrace your inner strength here, because there's some healing that's going to come in, and it's offering you some healing peace so that you can create something new from those pieces that you're letting go of, from whatever it is you're transforming and healing through. Let's get some more information. So we have lost love, surrender, healing, and release. Okay. Card number 35. Lost love. So this is like, some emotional wounds are going to come up for you that need you to surrender and heal from and release, so that your heart can heal. We have the Tree of Life with fertility, creativity, destiny, and magical blessings. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna, through this release, through this awakening, these downloads that are coming in. We have a number 1 again. So we have 1111, awakening, enlightenment. Trust your intuition. There is a higher purpose and higher meaning to this challenge. Through your experience, there is something that you are learning through the pain, through the healing, and it's time for you to release and to let go and to transform these energies so that you can grow in your strength, in your beauty. Yeah, because we have fertility here. There's something that you're meant to create from your heart space. Who was it? I'm not sure who was it. Rumi? I'm not sure who said that. The light enters through the wound, through the cracks. So I feel like you're definitely being asked to take some time to nurture yourself, to love yourself, to rejuvenate, to heal. Take some time out. We have the Sacred Heart, passion, love, spiritual communion. Yeah, see, I feel like this is the download that's coming into your heart space here. There's going to be this beautiful awakening. And we have card number 35, which is an 8, and that is about cycles, growth, achievement, wealth, the Strength card, healing the ego, the wounded child. It's also about moving to another timeline, the end of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. And then we have card number 12, which is a 3, and it's also cycles, the trinity of mind, body, and spirit, and expressing joy in our life. And see, this is like your heart on fire, your passion, your strength, connecting to your higher self, to the love of you, loving yourself here. Maybe there's, you feel like, and I've seen this happen many times, the sadness and the grief of losing a loved one, or, and that could be a family member, a friend, a partner, a mate, whatever the case may be. And no matter what we do, things happen the way that they were meant to happen, and sometimes it feels like it's not fair and we don't understand, and sometimes we try to blame ourselves or point the finger. We try to point blame somewhere. And the thing is like everything happens for a reason, and all is according to the divine plan, you know, to God's plan, to Source Creator's plan. We even knew before we incarnated that this was going to happen, and sometimes it is the hardest thing to hear because we don't understand. Why would I want to put myself through this? Why would I want to go through this? And it is because we want to learn and we want to heal something. There's a deeper meaning behind our choices, even if we're unaware of in the moment that we are making that choice. And sometimes at the time, we think those are the only choices we have available, and sometimes they are the only choices we have available. So make peace with the past as much as you can. Let go, forgive, heal, have more compassion and understanding, and realize that this was part of your journey. This was part of your destiny, was to go through this, and that there's blessings in the loss sometimes, even though you can't see it, and that's hard to hear. I have been through certain similar situations where people who I thought were my soulmates, and we've been in each other's lives, you know, our whole life, and then just a turn of the page, you know, and something can happen, and what you thought you had with one another can be completely thrown out the window just like that. And, you know, without an understanding, without even a goodbye, and it's hard to make peace with that and to understand that and know that in time you will, and eventually you can look back on the situation, and that's where you will get your wisdom, and that's where you get your understanding and how you can make peace with it, because in the end you'll be so grateful that it happened. You'll be grateful for that blessing and understand why, you know, and sometimes seeing that rejection is God's protection, and it has nothing to do with you personally. There's nothing wrong with you. You're lovable, you're worthy, you're good enough. This was meant to happen. And sometimes when we have loved ones that we lose along the way, you know, for a time, we're in these relationships with these people to learn from one another. And then there comes a time where we're meant to walk on separate paths, and our time and our experience with one another has come to an end, and we've learned all we could from each other. And it's time to say goodbye and let each other go fulfill our divine missions, what we came here to do. And it's not to say that your paths won't meet up again, who knows, but you know, you can always have faith and hope that one day, you know, if it's meant to be, it will be, you know, and come to that place of surrender and trust and having faith that you're always being guided by Source Creator, by your higher self, by your guides, that you're always being protected, and that you were always loved, okay? You're never alone. We have anxiety. I think that's a lot of the headspace, right? And ghost. Fears of the past repeating itself in the future. I feel like there's a lot of things that take place in your mind, a lot of sadness in there, a lot of regret, a lot of pain. Our anxiety comes from worrying that the past is going to repeat itself, you know, that somehow you're not going to be able to protect yourself, or you're not going to know how to handle the situation. And that's where trusting that you have the tools, that you have the wisdom to listen to your intuition, and know that you will be able to handle whatever's coming. And the other thing is that sometimes we're not allowed to know what the future is going to bring. Sometimes it's meant to be a mystery because it's an adventure that we're meant to go on, you know, and our mind wants to know every step of the way. It needs to have control. It needs to feel like it's in control because there's a lack of trust. And so your guides are telling you that it's time for you to have more. I feel like what's going to happen is your heart's going to open and expand, and you're going to receive this download where you're going to see how everything that has happened for a reason and has been guiding you to the place that you're at all along. and not to be afraid that you're not going to be able to handle something, or that you're going to be stuck in this pattern, or that you're going to be alone for the rest of your life, okay? Because we have this beautiful sacred heart, passion, love, and spiritual communion. There's a lot of love here in this reading, especially with the heart opening and expanding here. Maybe something, yeah, this lost love, maybe it was something that made you feel like you had lost your heart, you know, a part of your heart was gone, but there's this beautiful healing coming in for you, pile number 1. We have lotus flower unfoldment. Yeah, look at this blooming that's going to take place. There's going to be some insight, some revelation that comes in for you. That you're going to see how everything that you have been through has brought you to the place that you are at. And it's not something to be afraid of or in fear of. Yeah, we have Milky Way with perspective. There's going to be a lot of shifts taking place for you. A lot of expansion, a lot of understanding, a lot of growth, healing. What's the other one? We have river movement, nice. Forward movement for you. So on your spiritual growth path, you're going to be healing the heart space, releasing things that hurt your heart, something from the past, a relationship, some kind of emotional memory or attachment. And you're going to be growing and expanding and creating a healthy relationship between you and your higher self, you and your heart space. Your heart is going to be growing. Your heart is going to be filled with lots of love. I also feel like the violet flame coming through here. If you don't know what the violet flame is, it is a healing tool to help you transform lower energies, lower vibration, traumas and pain, emotional pain especially, and to alchemize it, transform it into healing energy. We have the Ace of Fire. Inspiration, communication, and adjustment. Okay. So there's going to be some shifts in your perception, like I was saying, in the mind. New ideas, new understandings, new ways of communicating from your mind and your heart, communicating with one another, communicating with your higher self here. Oops. Just dropped one of your cards in a minute. Okay. Yeah, there's this, it's a new beginning, this new beginning coming in for you. There may, yeah, this is about a course correction here. And there needs to be changes in order for you to get back on with your mission, on with your purpose, you know? Just a little bit of bumps in your road, you know, and it just helps you to redefine your, you know, your plan for life, you know, or a plan for yourself. Let go of anything that may be holding you back, you know. Be determined. This is about having like a healthy mind space and not letting fears or doubts or worries control and dictate your happiness. You know, it's time for you to let this go. Follow your heart, listen to your heart, and to move forward, to heal from this experience. And, you know, so if you're still like with this individual, or if you can communicate with this individual to receive some kind of perception shift, or if there's any way that you can, you know, speak on it, say it out loud and acknowledge how you feel, acknowledge your experience in some kind of way, you know, if there was these hurt feelings. And it's just trying to find a way to handle them from a compassionate place, you know, having more compassion and understanding. And not everybody is, you know, able to speak to the individual who hurt them, or because they just won't hear it. Some people just are in denial, or their ego's really big and they just want to shame you, or they just want to argue and deny that it happened, or that that's what they were doing, you know, and they're not going to offer you that healing or apology. And so just know when it's time to cut the cords to those types of individuals and move on. We have the Knight of Fire, confident, passionate, and adventurous. Look at that. There's this beautiful energy that's coming your way. It's like passion. We have confident, passionate, adventurous. There's a lot. Yeah, I feel like this is holding you back from the things that you wanted to accomplish in your life. And it's time for you to make like a solid plan. You know, if it's something that's worth fighting for, act on it. You know, there's this passionate heart of yours that you have, and there's something that you need to act on. And if it's this communication that needs to take place, then have more confidence in yourself to be open and vulnerable to having this conversation with this individual. And that will tell you everything about somebody. When you are brave enough and vulnerable enough to come to someone that you love and that loves you and say, hey, I need to talk to you about some things that have been weighing on my heart, and I need to speak to you about them. And when you tell them your feelings and expressing yourself, and there's a way to go about it. You can't come to somebody and start attacking them and think that they're going to be compassionate and listening to you and open-hearted. If you come at somebody and attack them, everybody's immediate response is to defend themselves. You know, they're not going to hear what you're saying. They just hear you attacking them. And everybody's response would be to defend themselves. You know, oh my God, this person is just jumping all over me. Like, I feel like I need to defend myself. Versus you coming to somebody with an open heart and revealing, you know, an issue that you're having, something that you're experiencing, and you're not sure if they even realize or recognize that they're making you feel this way by their actions or the words that they're choosing to use. You know, give them the opportunity to create change or to understand your pain and the hurt that's being inflicted, you know, whether they realize it or not. And then that will also reveal to you whether this is somebody you want to continue a relationship with, or if it's somebody you need to cut the cord from and protect yourself from this individual. Because anybody who truly loves you, they're open to hearing, you know, what's going on. They want to keep the relationship. They want to, you know, they don't want to burn the bridge down and set it on fire and say, you know, you deserve it, or, you know, well, I'm justified in doing that to you because you did this to me however long ago, you know. But the thing is, if you were hurting them and did something that hurt their feelings or whatever, or they felt disrespected, and why wouldn't they come to you like you are to them and say, hey, I need to talk to you about something that hurt me? You know, that's somebody who cares. That's somebody who loves you and wants you to know, like, hey, you're hurting me when you do this, and I care about you, and I don't want to feel this way, you know? So I just want to make you aware, and then give them the opportunity to apologize and then change their behavior. Or to recognize their behavior even. That's a healthy relationship. That's open and honest communication. And if somebody just wants to attack you and then just, you know, deny it and then judge you or shame you and then say, well, you did this and it's a tit for tat kind of thing, that right there shows you everything. And that's when you need to stand up for yourself, cut the cord, cut your losses, and move forward, because the type of love that you're looking for should be one that's of respect, mutual understanding. They want to build the bridge together. You want to build a healthy life together, not set it on fire and burn it down and not care how you make each other feel. I've seen that too many times, and it breaks my heart. We have the 8 of Air. We'll start with 8 of Air. Self-doubt, confusion, and free will. Yeah, sometimes we can be our own, like, I want to say own worst enemy, but it's not that. Like, we can create our own prison through our beliefs and our thoughts, you know, where we feel like we're trapped or we feel like there's no way out, but there is. We just have to do more. We just have to connect more. We have to go within more and understand where we can make the choice, where we always have choice to choose, and not to limit ourselves or trick ourselves into thinking that I can't do anything about it. I'm just stuck in this situation, stuck in this relationship, stuck at this job because I need the money, or because I'm afraid that if I end this relationship or I quit this job, then I'm not going to be able to make it, or I won't be able to survive. And that's not the case. You are divinely protected. This is meant to happen. Something will always come up. You will be guided to the next step. And guess what? Sometimes that's when the miracles happen, is when you confront something that seems like it's very hard and very challenging. Those are like your test, you know, to choose your happiness, to choose to follow your heart, you know, to listen to your higher self and your intuition, and to act on those moments when you know that this isn't right, this is so disrespectful, I'm not happy. That's when the change needs to happen. And that's when it's time for you to step up, to be brave, and to create change. That is the magic right there, okay? And you have to trust and know in your heart that you deserve better. This is not what you were meant to settle for. We have the 5 of Water: disappointment, regret, and forgiveness. Oh, yeah, see, I feel like this is your... Your guides are surrounding you. You know, we have this angel here who's with the Ace of Air and the Water. There's so many possibilities awaiting you, you know, and sometimes, like, we worry too much about the things that we're afraid of. Our fears stop us and prevent us from seeing all the beauty and the good around us that's available in our life. Sometimes we focus too much on the wrong things, and sometimes we can spend too much time in the mind and not enough time taking action. You know, we allow our fears to control us and to prevent us from, you know, creating and living the life of our dreams. So it's time for you to take action, you know, and each morning look for the joy that you have in your life. Because I feel like sometimes you can get stuck in a place of like hopelessness and feeling like you're stuck or you're trapped in some way. And I feel like you're being, there's things that you're not seeing that you can utilize. There's tools, or there's people, or there's opportunities that you're not seeing that are surrounding you at the moment. I feel like, yeah, you need to take some time to go within and to clarify what it is that you want in your life, and how do you see your life moving forward? What's going to bring you happiness and joy? You have the 2 of Water. It's like the 2 of Cups: partnership, commitment, and reconciliation. Yeah, I feel like this is what you're looking for. You want partnership. You want to feel loved. You want a relationship that feels meaningful, that feels like, you know, it's growing, that your connection is powerful. And I feel like that's, as you start to take action and you bring in this healing, you're going to heal this wound. Yeah, I feel like that. And you're going to attract somebody in your life who wants to commit to you. And I feel like if this is the individual, if you're still with this individual and you have this conversation, there is a chance for reconciliation here. For you to recommit to one another going forward. but it requires action, you know, not just words. It requires there to be more action. Let's see what the next one is. Release here. Endings, transformation, and freedom. So there's healing is being offered here to you. There's a lot of emotional healing. And sometimes it requires us to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, to get to know ourselves, what our needs are, what our emotions are telling us, what our intuition is telling us, not to lean into the fear, but lean into our heart space and allow our heart and our intuition to guide the way. And then the more that you can tune into your heart and open and expand your heart, you're going to receive this beautiful healing. And if you communicate your needs and your desires, you know, to your partner, to the universe, whatever, there's this beautiful opportunity for partnership, for healing, for transformation. There's something that needs to be released so that you can free yourself from having to go through this painful emotional experience. And it's something that could be just stuck in your head, stuck in your mind, that's preventing you from moving forward. Like an old tape, it could be something from the past, something from your childhood, you know, maybe that makes you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy. You know, it could be just, you know, some misunderstanding, but it requires you to be brave enough to communicate from your heart space here, okay? We have illusions and confusion, not seeing clearly. Yeah, I see there's a lot of time in the mind here, and feeding the fears, which is what's creating that anxiety. Something from the past here. And we have temptation, self-deception. Yeah. It's time for you to make choices based on the truth, not on the reality that you want to see or the person that you want somebody to be. Because that's the other thing. We can fall in love with somebody's potential and see their potential and wish them to be better. But the thing is like they have to want to grow. They have to want to change. They have to want to heal as well. To grow with you, to heal with you, to become that partner. And if this individual is just kind of like, you know, they're not wanting to hear it, they're just, you know, poo-poo your feelings, like they don't matter, then it's time for you to make those conscious choices to choose you and to walk away, pile number one. All right, let me get you, let's do this one. Cards, let me see. All right, pile number one. Can we get some closing messages for them? All right, we have surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. I mean, that's beautiful. Because it definitely, look, and it's the same card here, the same image. I mean, it's not the same card, but you know, it's pretty much surrender, heal, release, let go so something new can come in. Okay, open your heart, be vulnerable. And then we have this card. Oops, I don't think you're meant to see her. We have emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Okay, let's get you one more. All right, and that's the thing, is sometimes if we're holding on to the past and we're only focusing on the past, we can't see the blessings that are being offered in front of us because we're so focused on the past. We're blinded by our pain. And so we have to surrender and let go and understand the choices that we made and understand why we were... why we held on for so long, you know, is because we believed that they were the ones, or we believed that they could change. We believed that our love was enough to make them want to change or to love us more or to help them grow. And sometimes it's just not meant to be, and it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's that they weren't ready for your love. That the love that you have, they, you know, maybe they themselves weren't worthy of receiving it, and that's why things just didn't work out. And the love that they had to offer, it just didn't fill your cup. You know, you require a certain kind of love, and it's your love, your type of love. So pour into your cup so that you can attract somebody else who has that same equal vibration of love, okay? All right, what do we have? We have healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. Okay, so there was two different readings during this one message here. Some of you, this is the end of an old relationship, the letting go of an old relationship, and some of you who are trying to reconcile and heal within the relationship, okay? So some of you need to heal and let go of the past so that you can move forward and so that this new love can come in for you. And some of you need to have the conversation with the individual so that you can bring about honest communication, and this will bring about the reconciliation between the two of you, okay? All right, you guys, this was your message. This was your spiritual growth path and any potential breakthroughs that are on the horizon for you. Thank you all for being here. Please like and subscribe if you resonate with my readings. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 2. You guys were drawn to the yellow card, and this is actually the solar plexus in this deck and the Kunzite crystal. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up here real quick and get your cards to reveal your messages on what is your spiritual growth path at the moment and what breakthroughs you may be experiencing. Wow. Okay, we'll take in. Let's do these. Pile number 2. Messages for pile number 2 and their spiritual growth path. This one. Let's get a couple oracle cards. Oh, not oracle. Me too. Alright, pile number 2, please. Can we have some insights on their spiritual growth path? Alright. Let's do one more. Let's get maybe 1 or 2 of these. Pile number 2. The solar plexus and Kunzite. You know, Kunzite is a great crystal to help reduce stress. It's great for transmuting negative emotions like anger or resentment, helping you have more compassion, more understanding. It's a very great crystal for self-acceptance and love. Okay, that should be good. Let's see what messages want to come through for you. We have thinking of you, a loving thought, serendipity, and look at this yellow. Thinking of you. Ooh, okay, so tuning into this energy here, and it's 2911. Awakening, enlightenment, trusting your intuition and higher purpose. I feel like you are healing the solar plexus right now, and that is the center of our, you know, self-acceptance, confidence, our courage, our strength to be who we are, to shine our light, our true self. Having the courage, you know, it's like I feel the lion heart energy here, tender, but confident, you know, and open and compassionate. And I feel like this is you learning to see yourself with loving, kind eyes, you know, no longer having that harsh inner voice, you know, the way that you speak and communicate to yourself and the way that you see yourself is healing. There's this loving relationship you've created with yourself. We have perception beyond the veil of delusion. You know, look at this butterfly here. This is seeing your truth, seeing your beauty here, the truth of who you are. This is card 39, which is a 3. Your expression, your creativity, but also the connection to mind, body, and spirit, the Trinity here. Also a communication. What else? What? Look at this yellow energy. Look, see the suns that are coming here? Joy, expansion, growth. You are growing, you are expanding, pile number 2, and you're healing. You have this divine connection to yourself. Yeah, you now see yourself with clarity. We have jewel within a teardrop, appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. Look at that. The rooster just keeps going off. He's like, yes, the light is shining. Your light is shining. There's been a lot of healing that you have done with yourself. Pile number 2. I don't know why my cards always end up going crooked. Okay. Yeah, you've brought... Alright. So yeah, you've taken a lot of time to connect to yourself, to release some old perceptions, and you've brought this connection to heart and mind. We have this, you know, appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection, you know, and I feel like this is you. You've shined your light into your heart space and brought your heart, you know, to life, so to say. And it's beautiful. We have sacred journey, life cycles, family, and transformation. Yeah, you have been on the journey. You've brought some healing to your family lineage. Yeah, this may have been through several incarnations here. Card number 22, master number of balance, harmony, transformation, partnership, connection, being on the right path. But it's also about grounding, stability, hard work, putting in the hard work to create a solid foundation for yourself and for your family. Yeah, and you've created this beautiful connection between heart and mind. And I feel like you're grounding your higher self, grounding your spiritual wisdom into the physical realm. Yeah, this is a card number 3. So we have 33 coming through, 29, 33 right here. So you have 22 and 33 is known as a master teacher number. It is a high level of spiritual understanding, connection to the Christ consciousness, your higher self. You've done a lot of healing and a lot of work. You may have been experiencing a lot of these, a lot of downloads, a lot of activations from these solar flares that have been coming in. Yeah, because we have a lot of sun, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of love coming into from your reading here. Pile number 2, we have faith, disruption, and energy. Yeah, I feel like you are, okay, I just heard you are a star seed. you came here to disrupt, to create shifts and changes in the matrix, in your family lineage. You know, maybe you felt like you didn't fit in, that you don't belong, that there's something different about you, and there is, and you're not meant to fit in. You're not meant to be like everyone else. You're meant to stand out. You're meant to shine your light. You're meant to be different. This has been part of your journey, is to bring that healing to these patterns, to these standards, these old ways of being and seeing and living. They're outdated, and you've come in to bring this higher frequency of love, of light, of connection, seeing beyond the illusion, seeing the truth of the reality that we all live in, you know. And you have such a high vibrational energy here, such a strong connection to Source Creator, and a strong connection to your higher self. With cloud shape-shifting, nice, yeah. I feel like you were able to do that. You were able to change your perception. You alchemize very easily. You can transform quickly. You're able to move and heal from your emotions. You don't stay stuck in the past. You have dragonfly with emergence. Ooh, yes, this beautiful transformation. You are transforming. You are becoming your true self, your higher self. And we have the Milky Way coming through. I mean, I love that, from the stars. Like I said, I felt like you are a star seed. There's so much light coming in, so much high vibrational energy. And it's time for you to be seen. It's time for your light to shine, for you to come here to do what you came here to do, to anchor in this higher vibrational energy, to create new timelines, to anchor in more higher vibrational light here on the planet. I feel like this is the earth and the grid that's being activated here. Yeah, you are stepping into your truth. We have the Nine of Fire. Yeah, you've been preparing for this. You've been working for so hard for this. And you are about to emerge as your true self. Protection, preparedness, and resilience. Yeah, you've been working hard, girl, man. Working them fields, pulling out them weeds, pulling out them old programs that don't serve, the old ways of doing things, the old ways of loving, nurturing, and bringing your light, your wisdom, and your love, and creating new, higher vibrational patterns, transforming the past and bringing in the new, which is essentially like, you know, the ancient. Then we have the Ten of Fire. Ooh, yeah, you've been working so hard, and you're so exhausted. You're like, I'm so tired. When's it finally going to be over? When is my work going to be done? When can I just rest? I feel like, yeah, you have been working so hard. This is like almost to the point of like burnout, you know, pushing yourself to do this work. Oh, nice. I was hoping something was going to come through for rest. We have the Four of Air, meditation, recuperation, and contemplation. It's time for you to rest. The journey is complete. You are emerging whole and complete and connected and healed. You have done the work, and now it's time for you to rest, time for you to connect and tune in to your higher self and allow everything to just flow towards you now. To know that you are worthy, that you are receiving, that everything is moving according to the divine plan. The wheel is turning in your favor. You have blessings that are about to emerge in your life. you are about to be on the receiving end of all the hard work that you have put in, pile number 2. And we have strength, courage, compassion, and perseverance. So I feel like, and this is a card number 11 in this deck, you are shifting timelines here, elevating yourself. And this one is about trusting your intuition, listening to your inner guidance to guide you, spiritual enlightenment, a higher purpose, which I feel like you already know. That's part of why you incarnated here, was this specific mission that you have been on. Look, and you had the wheel come out, the fate, the wheel of fortune, cycles, divine intervention, and divine detours. Yeah, things are shifting. Things are going to be changing in your life for the better. And it's time for you to just rest and to enjoy life. We have the summer. We're in summer right now. It says activation, goals, progress, life force energy, new patterns. Ooh. Yay. So there's going to be a lot of shifts and change. There's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of forward movement. You've healed the ego. You've made this beautiful connection between the heart and the mind, and you put in all the work that has been needed for you to create this solid foundation, this solid connection. And now it's time for you to rest, to receive, tune into your heart space, and go with the flow more, so that you can shift into the higher timeline of where you needed to be guided. With the summer card coming out and all of this light, I feel like this is about the Lionsgate portal, because that is when this beautiful alignment takes place between our sun, the Sirius, I think it's the Sirius and Orion gateway, and then the galactic sun, because we have these 3 suns come out. And there's actually a 4th sun right here on this card. I kind of got like a sunflower, but there's this complete alignment. So there's something that's going to take place for you during the Lionsgate portal. So there's going to be like, yeah, a definite timeline jump where a shift in fate, a shift in fortune is going to take place for you. There's this beautiful emergence of something in your life. This beautiful transformation is going to take place. This beautiful shift in perspective. Lots of shifts taking place for you, pile number 2. I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait for these beautiful blessings to come in, because it's time for you to receive the blessings from all of your hard work. Woohoo! All right, let me see. What message? I'm going to give you a final card to close your reading. Let's go with this one here. All right, pile number 1, please. Can you have a final message to close your reading out? What can we expect on your spiritual growth path? We have freedom. Nice. I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt, so I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. Ooh, it's beautiful. This is you. Look at this beautiful light, this beautiful connection. I feel like this is you freeing yourself from the matrix, freeing yourself from all the illusion. You have created this beautiful connection to Source Creator, to your higher self, and I can't wait for this shift to come in for you, these beautiful blessings. What an amazing reading. Congratulations, pile number 2. I'm going to close your reading here. Thank you all so much for being here. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonated with you. I'd love to have you back for future readings. Sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. So these are your messages about your spiritual growth path. And let's see if there's any breakthroughs for you along the way. Let's get your oracle cards before I dive into your reading. Pile number 1, please. Your cards are just like flying out. Let's get one more pile. Okay, there we go. Lots of energy. Lots of energy for you guys. Yep, let's get these. Whoa, look at that. Pile number 2. I don't even have to ask your spirits. What are their breakthroughs? Wow. So you got some like lots of fire, lots of change. I feel like there's a lot of healing. We have blossoming spirit. Yeah, card number 5. Shifts, changes, adventure, freedom, transformation. I feel like there's something that is transforming in your life, something that you are creating. I feel like there's some healing. Pile number 3, please. This one. Let's get one more. Alright, let's get a couple tarot. We have some messages about pile number 3, spiritual growth path. What's taking place? 3. Let's try for one more. Pile number 3. Thank you. And we'll get a couple of these, and I think that should be good. Pile number 3. Whoa. All this one. This one. Okay, let's see what your messages are. So with this one here, I feel like there's some grounding taking place. I feel like you've been nurturing something. This could be nurturing yourself, nurturing an old wound, some healing, but there's been a lot of grounding coming into the present moment here. So maybe you've been practicing a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care. Let's see, we have the 9 of Hearts, fulfillment, harmony, and protection. Okay, so right now you are surrounded by your guides. There's a lot of protection coming in for you. I feel like there's a lot of protection from Mother Nature, from Mother Earth. You are being seen by the spirit realm. You're being acknowledged, some work that you've been doing. We have 37, that's a 10. So that is the, 10s are ones, you know, it's a combination of the ending and a new beginning here. So there's a potential for renewal, a potential for growth, for unity, a new cycle, being more independent. Let's see what else. Moonlight, travel, romance, and potential. Nice. Okay, yeah, I feel like there's been some healing, some perception shifting. Card number 36, we have 36 and 37. Definitely been some growth. We have a 9. Yeah, something has ended. There's something that you've let go of. This could be some old emotional wound that you've been healing, that you've been nurturing here, because we have all these hearts, the 9 of Hearts. The end of an old wound, emotional wound here. Been a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of emotional growth, you know, connecting to your intuition. I feel like there's something that's coming in, something that's coming to fruition for you. So you have some blossoming, some growth. You have the hidden path. Look at all these trees. I just said there's been a lot of growth. We have card number 34, so 7. So we have 10, 9, 7, and a 5. The marriage of spirit and matter. Yeah, I feel like you are, there's definitely been some healing that's taken place, and this could be a perception that has shifted, a truth has been revealed, or will be, because this is about your spiritual growth path. So this may be where you're at now, or it may be something that's going to take place a little bit down the line. But there will be or has been some healing to your roots, to your foundation of the, when your foundation, the root chakra, your I am connection. And it's also the connection to our security, our stability, our means of providing for ourselves and feeling secure, who we are and our place in the world, being able to provide home, shelter, having your needs met, feeling secure in your body with who you are as a person, an individual, and your ability to create, change in your life. We have achievement. Keep focused on your dream. Yeah, look at this growth, this blooming that's taking place here within your heart and your sacral chakra as well. So your ability to create, your dreams. Look at these eyes that are here. Yeah, I think like there's been this awakening that has taken place. There's been perception shifts, or there will be something that you see through the eyes of love, through the eyes of spirit. We have the Death card coming out, the end of something. Moving on from something. Ooh, and you got magic. Look at that. There's this beautiful union taking place. We have the marriage of spirit and matter. And that is the spiritual realm, the physical realm, grounding in the higher vibrations, having more connection to your higher self, your divine purpose, feeling more connected and loved with Source Creator, learning to create for yourself. When there's an ending, there's always a new beginning. Yeah, there's an awakening taking place for you. So there's an expansion of the third eye chakra, seeing the truth, seeing through the heart. Look at that. We have the anger card coming out. Okay, I feel like this is what is changing and transforming. There may have been a lot of things that you were angry about in your life and not understanding. And this can go back to childhood traumas and wounds. And it's related to the root chakra, like I was saying, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling provided for, feeling like there's, that you have meaning, that your life has meaning and purpose and value. And maybe you didn't feel protected, maybe you didn't feel nurtured. But this is where I feel like you have this strong connection to Mother Nature. Maybe you used to speak to Mother Nature. Maybe that was something that you enjoyed doing, was being outside. Maybe you felt safe. I'm sorry, I've had these roosters going off this entire reading, and they just keep sounding the alarm. And I feel like it's like a wake-up call, right? To wake up, see the light, see the joy that's in your life, see the opportunities that are available to you, see the love that's being offered to you. So whereas sometimes our anger can blind us from seeing, the beauty in our life or the magic in our life, I feel like you have been doing the healing work. You have calmed the emotional body. You've healed the emotional body, and you're able to see things clearly because the waters are now calm and still. And that's where you can tune into your heart more and be more observant of what the heart is saying, what your intuition is saying, and not coming from a place of fear or lack anymore. You have achieved some healing in your life and reached some kind of connection, and you have dream time creation. Yeah, blossoming spirit. There's some healing. There's something blooming in your life, and or will be blooming in your life, pile number 3. We have rain, purification, nice. There's that healing energy. So your aura, your energies are being purified right now. This is the cleansing of the old, healing this anger that's coming through, any old sadness that you may have, and it's transforming so that you can bloom. There's something that you might not be able to see because we have the hidden path here. So there's something that's been taking place behind the scenes that will be revealed because we have the dream time here. So there's something that you may be doing in your sleep. Maybe you've been astral traveling, maybe you've been working with your guides while you're sleeping. There's something that's been taking place there in the unseen realm. But there, just know that there's a cleansing that's taking place so that you can bloom. So make sure that you're taking time out to nurture yourself, love yourself, keep practicing that self-love and self-care. We have release, yeah. Let go of anything that's holding you back. Let go of any anger that you may still be holding on to. Release any of those things that make you feel that you're not good enough or that you're not worthy, or any fears of lack in any kind of way. Know that you are perfect just as you were created, that there's nothing you need to do to be worthy. You were born worthy. You were born through the eyes of God, our Creator, and we were all perfectly divine children before something happened to us that made us believe that we weren't. And those are the old patterns, the old beliefs that we carry from our youth, and that's what needs to heal, is our perception of ourselves, so that we can create the reality and the dream life that we want for ourselves going forward. It's about our belief system and creating our truth, and knowing that we have the ability to create. You have the balance card coming out with compromise, self-control, and moderation. See, this is the temperance card. Make sure that you are balancing, your creative abilities with resting and nurturing and healing yourself. This is that self-care practice. Make sure that you're pouring into your own cup and acting on inspiration as it comes to you, but don't force anything. We have a card number 14 with a 5, so you have 55 coming into alignment with your purpose. This is powerful change and powerful transformation for you, pile number 3. Big shifts coming in. We have the 6 of water. Look at that. Memories, childhood, and nostalgia. Yeah, I feel like there has been, or you may be asked to look back, or you may have been looking back on, some good times, but also there may be things that invoke sadness or even anger, and that's what needs your love, that's what needs your validation and your attention, so that you can heal from them and let them go and grow from them. What were you learning through those experiences? And it's hard to know how to handle our emotions when we're children. We don't understand our emotions then. When we feel it, we express it, and sometimes we're not allowed to express it because we're told we can't express it by our caretakers or whoever is in the environment at the time that we're experiencing them or trying to express them. We sometimes we're forced to suppress them, and then we try to logically rationalize them away, and we create a story for ourselves to make it okay. And sometimes it doesn't make it okay, it becomes a thought system for ourselves, like, oh, well, that happened because of me, I guess I'm not, good enough, or there's something wrong with me, or, that's my fault, and then we shame ourselves, and we betray ourselves, and we turn against ourselves, and we create stories. And they're not the truth, it's just what we told ourselves at the time, and sometimes we don't realize that we're still carrying that story with us, and it still holds weight until it comes up to the surface for us to re-examine them and to correct them and shift them and understand where it comes from and how it's actually creating our reality, you know, unconsciously. It's a pattern in our subconscious that we, you know, have completely forgot about until it comes up to our awareness for us to see it and to reflect on it, validate it, nurture it, give it understanding and compassion, and, like, you know, give yourself a big hug and say it's okay. You're completely right for feeling that way. I understand, you know, it's connecting to your inner child and giving them that comfort that they needed in that moment, giving them that friend or that parent that they needed to have in those moments that they went through that experience that was hard for them to process, you know, and that will bring about this healing, that will bring about that transformation, so that it's you're no longer creating from a place of destruction. You create from a place of beauty and love and understanding going forward, okay? So we have the Seven of Water. This can be a couple of things. So the Seven of Water is about, you know, choices, and sometimes being so overwhelmed with choices that we don't move forward at all. Sometimes it's about daydreaming too long, spending too much time in our mind or in the fantasies of what if, and not taking action, like actually creating it for ourselves. But it can also be about your dreams. What do you want to create, you know? We have the Seven of Air, awareness, caution, and consequences. So yeah, I feel like because of your experiences, you have learned so much about who to trust and who not to trust. And being able to understand sometimes people's actions don't match their words, and somebody can be one way in your face and another way behind your back. And so to always be aware of an individual's energy and to be more observant. But don't spend too much time in the mental realm, pile number 3. It's time for you to take action and to grow and to move forward, to release, so that you can blossom, so that you can grow and heal. What do we have? We have distance and time out. Retreat, blockage, emotional or physical distance. Yeah, I feel like this is what you need to do. Distance yourself. So that you can go within and bring this healing, to observe any blockages, any old belief systems that are preventing you from healing or creating the life that you desire. And we have twin flame, soul, strong soulmate, telepathic, spiritual, and divine connection. Okay, so there may be a partnership, and this could be just the way that you connect to yourself, or it could be a relationship that you end up developing later on down the road. Because the more that you can get to know yourself and your actions and the places that you create from, and making sure you're not creating from a place of anger and pain, you can establish a healthy relationship with yourself, which then creates more healthier relationships with other individuals. But there's definitely some healing, some release that's going to take place for you. And there's going to be some decisions and choices that you need to make about who's right for you, who's somebody that you want to have in your life, who's somebody that you need to distance yourself from, who feels like they truly care and love and respect you, and who is trying to force you into being, you know, somebody that you're not, and who doesn't make you feel safe to be around, safe to be yourself. You know, somebody that makes you feel comfortable, where you feel like you can grow around them and be yourself around them. And if you can't, if you feel like you have to hide and diminish your light, then it's time to make those choices to limit yourself from being around those individuals, not needing their approval or validation as much. You know, you just need your validation and your approval to feel like it's safe to be who you are. And to be very selective about who, you know, who's allowed to be that close to your heart, okay? Let me see if there's anything else before I get your final card. Number 3. Nope, okay, let me see. Where do we get your message from? Let's see this one here. Alright, pile number 3. Can we get some final messages for them to close out their reading? Messages about their spiritual growth path. These 2 here. We have discovering. Today I release my old beliefs, convictions, and preconceived notions. In their place, I seek new ideas, innovation, and endless possibilities. I am adaptable. I am able to see beyond my previous limitations and discover greater worlds inside of me. I love that. Look at this forward movement. There's this healing, cleansing that's going to be taking place for you. You're going to be rediscovering yourself. And then we have a gift from life. Look at that. That's your higher self nurturing your inner child there. Each day, life offers me abundant proof that the universe loves me. Every day, God sends angels to help me. Today, I receive an angelic message. It may come from someone with whom I speak or from words that I read. I will listen closely, as this message is a divine gift meant to help me make my way in love and maintain my spiritual strength. I love that. I felt the divine coming through when I saw this feather just a minute ago. So your spirit guides are going to be communicating to you and guiding you along the way. Your higher self is offering you guidance and support and love. And the way I see like our higher self is like when you were this child, we have like an inner voice that's guiding us, right? And it's like you, the future you, communicating to your inner child, communicating to you as the child to help you get through and navigate through life. And so now we have the adult version of you. There's another future you who is guiding you. So we're always guiding ourselves and giving ourselves advice and sending ourselves signs, right? So tune in and pay attention, pile number 3. You're going to be receiving some guidance on how to heal, how to move forward, how to love and nurture yourself so that you feel safe to grow, okay? All right, you guys, this was your reading. Thank you all for being here. If this reading resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you feel like sharing your story, I'd love to hear from you and connect to you guys. If you don't know what to say, just let me know. Pile number 3 was your reading. I'm sending y'all so much love. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day.